More than 135,000 illegal migrants have crossed the English Channel since 2018. Now, how did some of those people get to Britain? Or perhaps their journey started here. I'm here on the edge of Europe, on the Greek island of Rhodes, in a small village named Lindos. It's a beautiful place, very quiet, very safe. And whilst I was relaxing on the beach, I came across an article written by a local resident named Dimitris. Dimitris wrote, "At the time when the tourist season is slowly but surely coming to an end, the more it becomes evident how important and burdensome the issue of immigration and illegal migrant trafficking is for the island of Rhodes. There can now be no doubt that the delay in finding solutions for immigration has led to a rapid deterioration of the situation. Every day, boats appear, which illegally disembark people. One only has to take a walk in the now centre of Rhodes, in the historic, bustling and touristic Mantraki, to understand that something is not right at all." So instead of relaxing on the beach, I travelled from Lindos to Rhodes to find out for myself just exactly how immigration is affecting this small island. And what I found is that something was not right at all. I spoke to Dimitri, who asked not to appear on camera, and we respect that. He's a writer and a teacher on the island. He expressed concerns that things will only get worse, and that small islands such as Rhodes will eventually host illegal migrant centres, something which is currently under discussion. He told me the location of illegal migrants in Rhodes town to check out for myself. But before that, it's important to understand just how close Rhodes is to Turkey. You can see in this footage here. You can see Turkey from the beach, which is why more than 37,000 illegal migrants have entered Greece through Turkey. And that's a 39% rise compared to last year. The crossings consist mainly of migrants from Afghanistan, Syria and parts of Africa. For many, this is the route into Europe, and for some, this is the route into Britain. Last year, more than 6,000 illegal migrants arrived on the island of Rhodes, according to the UN. And that number may not seem significant compared to the numbers coming into Britain. But for a population of only 125,000, that represents a 5% increase in the total population. That's massive. It's completely unsustainable. Now, this is the Mandraki harbour, and here is where one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the Colossus of Rhodes, possibly would have stood. There is some debate over its location. Now, opposite this landmark is a government building, which you can see on screen now. It's in front of the town hall by a public plaza, which is very popular with tourists. And this is where we find an encampment of illegal migrants in Rhodes. Watching this footage, you can see these are almost all working age men. And they don't like being on camera, perhaps because they don't wish to be recognised. They have set up tents and have put down cardboard to rest on. This is what the residents of Rhodes are dealing with. Their town centre is being turned into an illegal migrant encampment. We attempted to speak to some of the illegal migrants here. One told us that he was from Palestine and was hoping to get to Central Europe.
Whereabouts are you guys from? Sorry? Palestine? Oh really? That's interesting. Are you trying to travel through into Europe? Something like that? Yeah. Into like mainland Europe, maybe Athens or something like that? Something like that, yeah.
Now, as the situation worsens in Jordan, Lebanon and Palestine, he told us that this route will only become more popular for migrants hoping to reach Central Europe.
So more Palestinians coming through Greece then? Yes.
When we attempted to talk to another group who spoke Arabic, they spotted the microphone, became agitated and crowded around the cameraman. We decided to leave and discovered that we were being followed menacingly by this man and others in the group who we had recorded earlier. He followed us for about 20 minutes in Rhodes until we lost him by jumping into a taxi. Not only were these men reluctant to be filmed, but they seemed determined to follow us and intimidate us. We began talking to a coast guard by the marina, who told us that boats come almost every single day, and that statistics on crossings are unreliable, as the government only record detected crossings. Of course, there are many undetected crossings. He told us if you want a free holiday to Greece, then come over on a small boat illegally. This is a continent-wide problem, and everyone I spoke to says the same thing. This will only get worse for Rhodes. And when illegal migration gets worse for Rhodes, it also gets worse for Britain. Fortunately, Britain is not beholden to the EU, unlike Greece. We have autonomy over our own laws and borders, but that only matters if we use that autonomy. So we must leave the European Convention on Human Rights. We must abolish the Human Rights Act. We must leave the Refugee Convention. We must process asylum claims offshore. And we must also get tougher by writing into law that a person who has travelled across a European country who then attempts to claim asylum in Britain is immediately denied and deported. Poland is temporarily suspending the right to asylum. Germany is introducing temporary border controls. And Italy have just begun offshoring illegal migrants to Albania. Europe is increasingly adopting stricter immigration measures, and it's time that Britain catches up.